What's going on YouTube? Gary here, gzduels, bringing you guys a deck profile of my Mermail Atlanteans, or as I like to call them, Atlanimail, because I'm using Atlanteans, Nimbles, as well as Mermails. And some of you might be wondering, Nimbles, why are you running these? Because of Nimble Angler. So I'll just go over the deck, explain some of my choices. The pretty standard, I'm running the Gen X Undine build because it's just the best way to generate pluses. So I'll have 2 Gen X controllers, 3 Atlantean Dragoons, 3 Heavy Infantry, 3 Marksmen, which is pretty standard. And you want to get the 3 Undine so that you can get controller whenever. And of course, we can't run anything without Gores these days because we're afraid of getting OTK'd. 2 Mermail Abyss Lind. I feel like that's all you really need, 2, because I run 2 of this Sphere, and she's really interesting. She's only good if I use Abyss Sphere. I could set it, but I don't like doing that. I run 3 Megalo Abyss because I have to discard a lot of things, and I run 2 Abyss Spike, which is pretty standard. Now let me explain to you what Nimble Angler does. If this card is sent from the hand or the deck to the graveyard, you can special summon up to 2 level 3 or lower Nimble monsters from your deck except for Nimble Angler, and I get Nimble Manta or Nimble Sunfish. And keep in mind, it says from the hand or the deck, so I can discard it from Megalo and it will start a chain. Where Megalo would be chain 3, the other thing I discard, say Heavy Infantry, would be chain 2, and Nimble Angler would be chain 1, and it would not miss the timing. I tried it on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, I searched up the rules, it does not miss timing, it is part of the chain. And what's good is you also get Gen X Undine you can ditch this for Gen X Undine. So you summon Gen X Undine, you discard Nimble Angler, you add Gen X Controller to your hand, and you special summon 2 Nimble monsters, either Sunfish or Nimble Manta. So let me just calculate that for you guys. You plus 2, well 3, because you get 1 for a Gen X Controller, you get 2 for Nimble Manta or Nimble Sunfish. Now, you can overlay these 2 in order to get yourself a free Gotchi. Now, not only have you gotten so many pluses, you've shrinked the deck by 4. You discarded 1, you added 1 to your hand, and you special summoned 2. That made your deck from a 40 card deck to a 36 card deck. Well, not even a 36 card deck. You draw 6 cards in the beginning, okay? That made your deck into a 30 card deck, and you can get access to everything you need later on. And that's just a lot of pluses generated from Undine and Nimbles. And of course I run the Allure of Darkness to get rid of Gen X controller sometimes, and the Holy Trinity, the Dark Hole, the Heavy Storm, and the Reborn. And 3 more is agreed because sometimes you draw Nimble Manta, and Nimble Manta would be like the worst card in the deck. Whereas Nimble Sunfish, if you set this and your opponent destroys this by battle, you can use this effect to discard Angler, special summon 1 itself, and use Angler's effect to special summon 2 other Nimble monsters, thereby getting you a Dark Mist if you really wanted to. I find that to be really rare, but it happens, and in any case you get a free Gotchi. And then of course we like to recycle things that we use. You get a Pot of Avarice, you take 2 of these, and then you take 3 of these back into your deck, and it suddenly becomes alive again. And 2 Abyss Spheres, why would you run a Mermail Atlantean deck without it? Alright, getting into the side deck, I have 2 Maxis siding against Synchro Heavy base decks, of course, and windups. And I have 2 Puppet Plants. I like to side these against Samurais, Heroes, and any of these rogue decks that use, like Excalibur or something crazy like that. Trigodias, I side them in for basically for Dino Rabbit, because I know that if they drop like a Logia and they attack and I use Trigodia and I have 5 cards, I just get rid of that Logia. There's no problem. For Volcanic Queen, it's the same thing. I sided in for Dino Rabbits or against Shien, a whole bunch of decks. And you guys might be wondering why I have so many Mystical Space Typhoons and Dust Tornadoes. Well, I guess it's no secret to anyone that people side, Macros Cosmos and Dimension Fissure against Atlanteans or even Soldiering, and that really it's like an auto lose for this deck. So what tends to happen is If I'm facing someone, game one I'll win because my deck is just like too fast for them to handle. Game two they'll side in things like Macros Cosmos, and I tend to side in 3 Mystical Space Typhoon. If I lose game two because of like Macros Cosmos or something, I'll just side in all of my back row hate in order to get rid of it. And I usually side in for the Undine. I sometimes even side out like one Angler, 3 Manta, just because like I don't like drawing these, I rather draw these. And of course, lastly, I have the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror for sometimes Chaos Dragons, and of course for the pesky Dark Worlds. Okay, moving on to the extra deck, I have Ally of Justice Catastor because I do have Gen X Controller and I do have level 2s. I have Black Rose Dragon because I have Gen X Controller and level 4s. And, Gunyear, of course. I have Daigusto Phoenix in case I wanted to go for an OTK with Nimble Manta. I have 2 Gachi Gachi because every game I often make 2 Gachi Gachi. I have Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger. I have Mermail, Abyss, Gaios. I'm thinking about dropping this guy actually because I find that I always go for Big Eye, so I'm not sure. I also use Miserythm. It's pretty good. When you use this effect on your turn, it's just 3,000 attack. No one can argue with that. And some of you may be wondering why I'm running 2 Big Eye. Because, as you can see in my side deck, I don't side against machines. Well, not that much. I guess this would work for against the machines gear GS. But what I tend to do is I tend to go for a level 7 and then get their Machina Fortress and then overlay again in order to get another Big Eye and just like keep stealing their monsters because they're level 7 as well as my Megalo. So it's just awesome when that happens. And of course, Leviathan Dragon, Acid Golem, Temtempo, and Zemains. So I guess some of you may be wondering why I'm not running Diva or Mooling Glacia. Well, the first thing, Diva, is that I find that like the deck just moves too fast without Diva. What do you use Diva for, basically? You use Diva in order to get a Gachi Gachi, in order to get maybe Atlantean Marksman for that level 5. But that level 5 synchro isn't really vital to your strategy. I know it shrinks one from your deck, and I know you can search it out with Atlantean Dragoons. It's just I feel like it's a waste because I tend to just discard this for Megalo Abyss and get the 2 for my Gachi anyways, and it's like really free. And I mill 2 cards from my deck. I shrink 2 cards, so I rather use the Nimble instead of using Deep Sea Diva. And as well, I don't like Mooling Glacia because all of these just end up in the graveyard too fast. Within like 2 or 3 turns, I would have 7 or maybe 8 water monsters in my graveyard, and I rather just not have this Mooling Glacia clog up in my hand. So that's my deck, guys. I don't think anyone has decided to play Nimbles. I've been testing it. I have a few spectacular duels on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro that I'll be sharing with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any suggestions, please comment below. And thank you very much.